morning everyone. It's our third day here in Lofoten and our fifth day in Norway, and I wake up to this view. Isn't it just beautiful? It's incredibly tranquil. The only sound that's breaking the silence is my own voice and the distant seabirds, and nothing else. It's healing. That's how I feel. Lofoten has many characters. Yesterday morning it was all misty and mysterious, and this morning, as you can see, the sun is out and everything is crystal clear. We have a very big day today because the sun is out, and that's quite a rare occurrence here in Lofoten, so we're going to make the most of it. So today we're going to visit quite a few villages. One of them is called U. It's a single letter with an A, with a single letter A with the O on top of it. It's pronounced as U. And then we'll revisit Reine. And then there's another one called Nusfjord, which you have to pay to get in. I think it's around about £10 per person. So we're going to check out and see how beautiful those villages are. And just like yesterday, I'm sure we're going to stop every single time along the way. So it's going to take us all day to record all of this, and I'm pretty certain that today's video is going to be one of the most exciting and also the longest. So come along with us and join us on this beautiful day in Scandinavia. Okay guys, first stop of the day, 2 minutes outside our Airbnb, and we have a mirror-like. Okay guys, the first official stop of the day is a beach, and I've forgotten about the name, so I'm going to put it up here. But let me just show you how amazing this place is. Doesn't this look like Caribbean? It looks like Caribbean, doesn't it? Especially with the white sand. So I was explaining in the previous video yesterday, the reason for the white sand is because the current here are quite warm, and because of that, the sea does not freeze over in the winter time, and therefore it has all the time pounding the sand, pounding the land to make it, grind it into sand. The other thing is because it's warm and it carries lots of nutritions, because of that it attracts lots of sea life, in particular shellfish. So what you see at the moment on the beach is basically all smashed up shells grounded into sand. Because it's nutrition rich, there's lots of shellfish and therefore provided enough materials for the beach to become white. And this is very, very rare because in Nordic countries you don't see white beaches at all. We're quite lucky this morning. You can see all the parks, car parks has already been occupied. We squeezed in at the last available one. Today being Sunday morning, it surprises me a little bit. But the beach itself is quiet, as you can see. Just lots of motorhome guys out there. But what a scenery, guys. What a absolutely beauty. Yet another roadside stop. We can't resist with the view behind us. Norway is unbelievable, just unbelievable. Okay guys, so this is the reality of Norway. We are 2.5 hours out now on a journey that should only last an hour, and we still haven't reached our second destination yet. We just have to stop every single time. Yet one more impromptu stop, guys. I mean, driving towards the mountain, look at the feeling of that. Right guys, well, we're just gonna show you the view from within the car as we drive towards this absolutely pool of granite. This is so pretty. Look at the one in the middle, just dips down, and then everything else rises up. This is look, and look, if you look closely, it feels like a Batman with a tiny head and waving his arms. Or wings rather. It's quite an uphill climb, that's why you can hear the engine roaring or grinding. What a view, guys, what a spectacular view. This is why I think Norway is simply astonishing. Hi guys, right, finally after 3.5 hours of our journey that should only take an hour, we finally arrived at our second official stop, and that is Nusfjord. And this village, unlike other Lofoten villages, you have to pay to enter because, well, I'll show you and you will see why. Because it's very, very beautiful, and they need some extra income for the village to continue the way it is today. So let's go and check out this beautiful Nusfjord. First thing first, guys, this is the view from the village, surrounded by fjords. Oh guys, I forgot to mention, the ticket price is £10. Oh no, actually it's 100 Norwegian krona, so that works out roughly about 7.50, about $10 basically, about 7.50 British pounds. Okay guys, I think it is now a good time to tell you a little bit more about the color schemes of the Norwegian buildings, especially in Lofoten. You see, most of the buildings here are red. Okay, now red buildings basically means is a farmer's, not a farmer, a fisherman's cabin. Now, the reason for that is because when they build the house, red is using carbon dioxide rust to paint. Those can be imported from Swedish copper mine, and they are the cheapest material, dye so to speak, that you can have, and therefore most of the fishermen sort of paint their houses in red. The other thing is, you can see all the houses are wooden. They use fish liver oil as a very potent waterproof material. So they paint, in the olden days at least, they paint the buildings with the liver oil, liver oil, to make them waterproof. So yeah, so those are why they are red. Now you can also see many buildings such as these ones here. They are yellow. Now yellow are using another dye to make it yellow. Now yellow signifies the buildings is a commercial establishment, so it could be a restaurant, a cafe, or a post office. Okay, and you can see just beyond those red and yellow, you can see a couple of white houses. Again, those using different material to dye, and the dye used for, in the olden days at least, for white buildings are platinum dust or platinum oxide, and therefore they're very, very expensive to import. And because of this, all the white houses that you see in the olden days used to belong to very rich men. So to recap, red are the most common color, and they use carbon dioxide, iron dioxide rather, sorry, for fishermen's cabin. Yellows are commercial buildings such as restaurant, post office and cafes. Whites are the most expensive of the three colors, and they are basically wealthy people's houses. So yeah, so all the houses, whether it's white, yellow or red, they have all been waterproofed by cod liver oil on the outside. They are actually better than modern day paints because it lets moisture out whilst keeping moisture from the outside out as well. So, and liver oil is what they produce here in Lofoten, so they are pretty abundant. Sorry. Look at these two. Amber is looking for ice cream, and I'm, as forever, is looking for Monster. Okay guys, one other thing worth mentioning, you can see all the houses are made of wood, but if you look beyond, it's all rocky mountains, and there are very little usable trees to turn into timber. Now the reason for this is because wood is actually better material than stone, certainly for the geographical conditions of Lofoten, because they can keep out the draft better than stones, and that's why they decided to use wood. Now the problem facing them is because there is no trees here, or very few usable timber. So what they do is they, as I said, their major industry is fishing, so they ship their fishing all the way to Sweden, and then that through international trade import timber, quality timbers into Lofoten. And as you can see, all the houses here are made of wood, and as I've mentioned before, all waterproofed by their fish. Talking of which, fish, you can see heads here. In terms of views, this village possesses some of the best views. So you can see on the left hand side, the walkway that we're currently standing upon is built on stilts, which just gives it an extra layer of uniqueness. All those red cabins are fishermen's cabins. As you can see, they're all painted in red. The water is crystal clear. You can see all the way into its depth. they're yellow. Therefore, commercial buildings, most likely cafes and restaurants, which we will then go and visit because I need some drink. Papa, what do you think?
Nice view. Yeah.
Let's see how long the idiotic camera took the camera about 3 seconds, 3-4 seconds to realize the exposure was wrong. But anyway, so we have entered a little museum exhibition. We can see lots of dried stockfish, showcasing what life used to be. What life used to be like. And this is all the communication equipment for boat captains, I guess. Let's go into the dark side. Guys, the camera is picking up lots of light, but the actual fact is pitch dark. This is where the R3 really comes into. This is why R3 is being used. Guess these are the equipment used by captains on a boat. Right, I'm gonna go outside. Beside a disused coin, sorry, third time lucky. I got the panoramic view of the village of Nusfjord. Okay guys, so the Nusfjord village is divided into two parts. We have just visited one side of it. Now let us see this side. Perhaps it's even more scenic because it's built right next to a lake, or is it the sea? I'm not sure. It must be the sea because it's called the fjord, isn't it? So let's see. Wow. As it turned out, the second part of the village is tiny and is mostly private ownership of cabins. But the view, which you have just seen, is absolutely stunning. I think that's it for Nusfjord. We're going to continue our way to the beautiful village at the end of the Lofoten Islands, and that's called UTTAKLEIV with the O on top. See you there. top of that bridge is a viewpoint that will take you to the most photographed point, and that is where we're going now. So just walking on the bridge, and to my right, this is the view that you see. Absolutely incredible. In terms of viewpoints, it will take something special to beat this one. And that something special, ladies and gentlemen, is just further down. So we're going to go and hopefully there's a parking spot. Hi everyone, we have now finally arrived at the village called Au. I thought it pronounces Wu, but I was spoken to a local Norwegian and he told me it's Au. And he also told me that it is the last alphabetic letter in Norwegian, which would make sense because the village here is the last village along E10 Lofoten. So it makes sense to call it the last alphabetic letter. And this is the way from the car park to the village of Au. So that's a pretty cool entrance, I have to say. And behind us, as everywhere in Lofoten, it's just full of majestic mountains. All you can hear is the cry of the seabirds. You can hear them cackling. Guys, what a beautiful, beautiful place to be. And this is a rather creepy sight. It's like a horror game. That's crazy. It made me jump a little bit. Okay guys, that's done for now. The Norwegian equivalent of Landsand, a tiny village, very picturesque as you can see. We are now going back to Reine. Try one more time because we were there last night and the sun got set, so we missed out the city a little bit. Today we're going to go back now and see if we can capture the best viewpoint in the whole of Lofoten. See you there. Guys, what about this view? Isn't it just one of the best views ever? This view reminds me a little bit of Switzerland. But you want my, excuse me, honest opinion, hands down, I think the best looking country in the whole of Europe is Norway. That's Amber. I'm not sure what happened. BBC lied to me. It's 20 to 4 and as you can see it's clouded. BBC told me it's going to be 5 o'clock until it gets cloudy, but never mind. We are walking towards the viewpoint for the best view of Reine. Look at that shirt. So I went inside wearing this shirt to buy a parking ticket and the guy laughed at me saying I would have given you a parking discount had you wear a South African one. He supports South African rugby. It's quite cool. So we're just walking along the road next to the massive granite mountain, that signature of Reine. We're walking across the road towards a bridge, and from that bridge looking back, it offers the best viewpoint in all of Lofoten and all of Norway. So let's go guys and check it out. Okay ladies and gentlemen, this is the best view of all Lofoten. How beautiful. This is the village of Reine, R-E-I-N-E, and it's simply stunning. I just wish the sun is out, but obviously you can't have everything. We have had such a beautiful weather, so no complaint whatsoever. This is, I mean, I can't get enough of this.